Good morning, children. I welcome you all to today's session of science. And in science, we are studying chemistry. And today's chapter is atoms and molecules. Now, children, you will be surprised to know that in atoms and molecules, a lot of contribution has been made by Indians, right? Now, see, as I read, atoms and molecules are fundamental building blocks of matter. Please remember this, that they are the fundamental building blocks, right? They are the fundamental building blocks of the matter. The word atom is a Greek word meaning indivisible, right? You cannot divide it. We all know atom has some particles inside it, like electrons, protons and neutrons, but they alone cannot be called as the building blocks of matter, because electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged, and if we take proton, then the negative aspect is not there. If we take electrons, then the positive aspect is not there, right? Now, Indian and Greek philosophers gave the idea of Parmanu and atom, but this was based on philosophical considerations. The term Parmanu was first used by, see children, Maharshi Kannad, Kanad, right? And another Indian philosopher, Pakuda Katyayama, said that these particles normally exist in a combined form, right? So these two great Indian rishis, or you can call them philosophers, they gave the concept, and he said that they exist in a combined form, which gives us various forms of matter. Around the same era, ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Aristotle, Lucretius, and Democritus, etc., also believed that matter is composed of extremely small and indivisible particles called atom. Right? These ideas were based on philosophical consideration and not on much experimental work. There was rather no experimental work was done to validate the idea proposed by an Indian and Greek philosophers till the 18th century. Now we know that all the matter is made up of small particles called atoms. Atoms combine to form molecules, and different kind of atoms and molecules have different properties. Same kinds of atom or different kinds of atom combine to form molecules. Now there are certain laws which are there, and collectively all of these laws are called laws of chemical combination, right? This is collective term given to some laws. There are 5 laws in totality which come under this heading, and let us go one by one. These laws are, first, see children, here are those laws. The first one is law of conservation of mass, then law of constant or definite proportions, law of multiple proportion, law of reciprocal or equivalent proportions, Gay-Lussac law of gaseous volumes, right? Here we will be discussing only law of conservation of mass and law of constant or definite proportion in detail, right? Now, law of conservation of mass, right? This law was enunciated by Lemontov, but it was experimentally demonstrated by Lavoisier, right? Lavoisier is also called the father of chemistry. Now he said that matter is neither created nor destroyed as a result of chemical reaction. This is also called a law of indestructibility of matter. Right? Means matter cannot be destroyed. Right? Right? Now, what happened was Landolt performed a series of experiments and finally established the truth of this law within the limits of experimental error. He did some experiments, and he thus proposed certain theories and said that, according to it said that the mass of the chemical compounds taken as reactant was found always to be equal to the mass of the products which were formed. Right? Now, Albert Einstein had proposed that mass and energy are interconvertible as per the equation E is equal to mc square, or mass is equal to E upon c square. Right? But c is very very large, right? C is very very large. So then, hence, as you can see from this equation, that c square is inversely proportional to m, right? C is, you all know the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8. So if we square it, then it will become 9 into 10 to the power 16. This is c square, and this c square will be in the denominator, right? So if the c square is very large, then m has to be very small or negligible, right? So according to this Einstein law, this law of conservation of mass holds here, right? It's bound to be correct, right? There are some numericals given. Next we come to the law of constant proportions or definite proportions, and this law was first enunciated by Proust, right? And then the truth of the law was established by Stas, and they said that in the same chemical compound always consists of same elements together in same proportion by weight, right? That is, if we extract any chemical compound from different sources, then from irrespective of the source, the compound will contain these elements in the same proportion, right? So this was the law here stated. And then Stas did following experiment. He first of all he took water from different sources, well, river, from different countries, right? And he found out that in each of these water, the hydrogen and oxygen ratio is 1:8, right? Similarly took for carbon dioxide also from different sources, right? Um, Now, in isotopes also, you can see that the law of constant proportion it holds, right? See, isotopes of water have been taken here, and you can say the mass of hydrogen and oxygen are in some kind of, right? So it was seen here that the mass of the composition of water is not different, right? So that means the the soon it gets into isotopes where the molecular formula slightly changes, right? Where the molecular formula slightly changes, then things become different, right? So you can see that from this chart here. Okay, now we come to the most important part in this chapter, which is the Dalton's atomic theory. Now, old philosophies, doctrines of Greeks that matter is composed of tiny indestructible particles called atom was developed in the form of atomic theory by John Dalton during 1803 to 1808. Subsequently, it was found out that it could explain all the four chemical combinations, right? So, Dalton's theory was able to explain all the four chemical theories, laws of chemical combination, and it was later referred to as the atomic theory rather than atomic hypothesis, right? Hypothesis means the anything which is not based on any proof, but this had proof. Now, according to this theory, Dalton atomic theory, Dalton said that these are the four things which he said. Matter is composed of number of extremely small particles called atom, which are incapable of further divisions. That means he said that matter atom is fully complete; it cannot be divided. Atom of the same elements are identical in all respects. All atoms of the same element have the same size and mass. Atoms of different elements have different properties and different mass and size, right? And fourth, combination between atoms takes place in small whole numbers, resulting in the formation of compound atom. And in modern use, we call it as what? We call it as molecules, right? Now here you can see they're all in simple whole numbers. A plus A, there is 1 1 and then A2. 2A plus A, see the coefficient of A is 2. Now presently the position of Dalton's atomic theory, right, is that firstly atom can be subdivided. Yes, atom, you all know atom can be subdivided into electron, proton and neutron. Atoms of the same element may not be all alike. Yeah, it is quite possible. Like, see, hydrogen has three isotopes: protium, deuterium, and tritium. There are no compound atoms, right? Instead of the compound atom, we now use molecule. The ratio in which atoms compound may not be simple. As you can see, this tristyrene here, C57H110O6, they are different. They are not multiples of each other. Atoms can be altered, right? Like in radioactivity. Radioactive elements, the emission, alpha, beta, gamma emission is going on. So there, the atom is gets changed, right? So now we come to the modern atomic theory, which suggests that atom is divisible. It is made up of electron, proton, and neutron, right? But still, atom is smallest unit which can take part in chemical reaction. Atom of the same element may not be all alike. They may possess different atomic weights, but such atom of the same element that differ in atomic weights are also called isotopes, right? Isotopes concept was given by them. See, in isotopes, what happens is the atomic number is the same, but atomic weight is different because of variation in number of neutrons, right? In certain cases, atom of different element might possess the same atomic weight and different properties, right? Argon and calcium both have atomic weight 40, and such are called isobars. Now this was a concept which was given for the first time of isobars. Dalton atomic compound atom is a molecule, right? It's not essential to have simple numerical ratio between constituent elements of a compound. Outer electron of an atom participates in a reaction. Now this was a very important sixth point, right? That it is the outer electron which is called the valency electron, which participates in a chemical reaction, right? Atom of one element can be transmitted into atoms of other elements. In certain organic compound, the ratio in which atoms of different elements combine may may not be simple. Atomic number is the main fundamental property, not the atomic weight, right? Children, see, this ninth point is super most important, that it is the atomic number which decides the fundamental property and not the atomic weight, right? So I stop here. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did in making it, and until we meet again, it's a goodbye.